Hello there, good afternoon, and how's it going? I have been a little bit quiet of late, but I have been busy. Today, going live, I have got a new production. The zombie video is finally done. That will be going up today. It may already be up by the time you watch this, so, that's good. And of course, well, the bonus video itself, I also have that for you. Fancy that. The gameplay in the background is a game called 7 Days to Die, which is a survival sandbox thing. The sort of thing that most people will normally rail against. Early access, zombies and, all the punching trees, that sort of thing. But I actually quite like it. Of all the zombie games I played that were new to me over the course of making this zombie video, this is the one I liked the best. I don't know why. I think I like building bases, and this is kind of the game that Minecraft was originally supposed to be. The zombies in Minecraft were originally supposed to be a lot more dangerous. They were supposed to sort of be able to break blocks and attack you at night. And, it kind of went a different route, didn't it? But this game kind of picks up on that idea, and I kind of like it. You build a base, zombies will break blocks to get you if they detect you, and every 7th day, a massive blood moon horde comes to get you, which is well, it's quite exhilarating. Until, of course, you build an impregnable fortress, or just dig down to the bedrock and hide there. Started a new game for the bonus video. Just played a couple of days worth. Built a little shack, assembled a few odds and ends. I actually had a forge by day 2, which is pretty good going. But I think it will only have time to see day 1. But that, of course, is just the background. The real purpose of this video is to keep you updated with regards to what's going on. In so much as life is concerned, yes, I still have a baby. Haven't messed it up yet. He's 10 months old now. Well, he's approaching 10 months old, so he's coming along. Still not doing great as far as sleep is concerned, but I catch it where I can. This is one of the troubles, you see. If I ever get a 2-hour opportunity to record, it's a question of, do I record a new bonus, or do I have a 2-hour nap? Which one do I do? Anyway, he's fine. He's kind of a lot of work, but he's getting easier. He's more independent now. But apart from that, since the Quake video, I've had a few other things on my plate as well. Least of all, the actual zombie video. A lot of planning and research went into that. I've watched a lot of zombie films. When I was looking after the baby, I'd stick a zombie film on, and I've got through quite a lot that way. Aside from that, for the first half of this year, from about February to June, I had driving lessons. And that kind of reached a head a couple of months ago when I had my driving test. The good news is that I passed first time. I don't have to pay to take it again. I don't have to do any more lessons. So that's a load off my mind. That's an extra couple of hours a week I've got now, which is good. I haven't got a car yet, though. I'm still thinking about getting one soon. Trouble with buying a car is pretty much everything is a compromise. Like the cars that I want are they're either not practical, or they're not affordable, or, there's some other downside to them. I'm not even sure what my dream car would be. I think, to be perfectly honest, I'd rather be chauffeured around everywhere. Give me a nice Rolls Royce or a Bentley. That'd be alright. But, if I was forced to do something as vulgar as drive myself around, what would I drive? If money were no object, what would I have? I don't know. I do like an Alfa Romeo. Top of the tree, probably something like an 8C Competizione. Not the most practical of cars, only 2 seats. Can't fit a baby in there. Right. Do they do any sedans? Yes, there's the Giulietta, I think, is the current offering. But you can't afford that. Nope, can't afford that. Right. Do they do any sort of budget cars? Well, they do a small one called the Mito, but that's just on the standard chassis, and it's not as well rated as some of the others in a similar class, and it's certainly more expensive. Right, so probably a bad idea then. Yep. So it's kind of this race to the bottom of sensibility, affordability, and just practicality. I don't know. And you end up thinking, maybe I should just get something really boring. I'm thinking the best thing to do is just to get something that's cheap, and then you're not going to waste too much money on it, and, you can always get a better car next time. So it's looking like it's coming down to one of 2 options. I'm either going to buy a used, but sort of certified pre-owned small car of some fashion with a tiny engine that's cheap to tax and insure. Or I think my mum might be getting a new car, and there's the potential that I might get her old car, which is it's a Nissan Micra. It's the car that I actually learned in, not the exact car. I just mean the instructor I used. He had a Nissan Micra, And, well, it's the only car I've ever really driven, so I don't really have any good comparison. Still, that's a time sink that's out of the way. I think I went on holiday. It doesn't feel like it. I feel sleep-deprived and tired. Sleep-deprived and tired, yes. But apparently we had a holiday at some point over the last couple of months. We went away for a few days to just in England. You know, we rented a holiday home. It's the place we've been to, but we've been there a few times. Only this time, of course, with a baby, which makes everything more tiring somehow. Anyway, so the moral of the story is, don't do long projects when you have a lot of time pressures on, because otherwise they'll just take weeks and weeks and weeks. And I've enjoyed doing this zombie video. It's been fun. There's a lot of, there's a lot of interesting stuff in there. But I don't know, it has been quite intensive in terms of the work. It's a new format, and new formats always take a lot of time, because you've got to do all the planning, all the structure, just to make sure everything's going to fit together nicely. But yeah, it's done now. It's done. And I think it's pretty good. I don't know. I just don't know. You lose touch on these long projects. You get burnt out and you sort of start to become detached from reality. I mean, I've gone through the process. I know it's going to be all right. The process is just, the steps that I always go through. It's something I can lean on when I'm not of sound mind. And I think, yeah, it'll be fine. I mean, the work I did weeks ago on the structure, on the planning for the script, kind of means that everything has to come together nicely. It's a sound structure from top to bottom. And I think it's an enjoyable video. My only sort of self-criticism at this stage is that the latter portion becomes a box-ticking exercise. But I'm kind of caught between what's good for the video and what's good for the audience, because the audience expects to see a lot of games. You tell them that they're going to see a video about zombies, they want to see that game, what they're interested in. And if you don't include it, well, this is an outrage! So yeah, the back end's a little bit heavy for my tastes, but I haven't really cut it, because it would just mean disappointing certain sections of your audience. And it's, besides, it's not that bad. I just like to have a razor-sharp focus on the narrative. And yeah, I think it works pretty well. It's essentially, it is a brief history of zombies, but I didn't want to call it that, because the term, or the format, a brief history of, sets up these paradoxical expectations of the video. Like if you say a brief history of X, people come in expecting X. But some people expect a brief history, emphasis on brief, something which, skips over the major points. But a lot of other people expect every point to be covered. It contradicts itself, really. So I've decided to maybe, I'm certainly going to do videos about the history of things, but I'm probably not going to call them a brief history of, because it just messes with the expectations of the video, and I think it makes it less interesting, because it forces me to do a chronological approach to things, when I don't think that's always the best way of doing it. So it's slightly more freeform. It's narrative focused, as most of my videos will be going forward. I mean, because everything's a story when you break it down. And it's not affixed to any prior format. It's kind of a weird mix of a brief history and iconic arms, but for bad guys. So I may yet do more in a similar fashion. It depends how successful the zombie video is, of course. It might yet flop. It is 2:30 in the afternoon that I'm recording this now, and I'm probably going to go live at 4 p.m. and I've got no idea how it's going to be received. It's quite a daunting moment, really, in this process, especially when you've been working on something for a while. It's like, well, I've got a month's work in this, 2 months' work. Oh, I don't even know how much work I've got in this. A lot. And, what if people don't like it? Oh, my word. And then, well, what I would really do then is I just move on, crack on with the next project. Maybe strike off the idea as, as fundamentally bad. Never try it again. Let's all forget this ever happened. But, it'll be fine. I think most people will enjoy it. I think it's well structured, apart from the end being a bit flabby. But that's, whatever, fine. And I'm fairly sure that zombies are still kind of cool and interesting. People love zombies. I don't know why. I mean, I kind of do know why. They are cool. I did enjoy watching all the zombie films, and I did enjoy playing a lot of the zombie games. But, you know, who knows? Who knows how popular this video will be? Maybe it'll get 100,000 views in the first week, maybe 200,000. 200,000, I think, you know, that's about my baseline for something that I put a relatively large amount of work into. 100k, if it got less than 100k, I'd be thinking, good God, what have I done wrong? But 200k, that's, you know, average. 300k, 400k, yeah, I've got a good video there. 500,000, probably, yeah, not bad. I mean, I don't do it for the views, of course. If I was going to do that, I'd probably, I'd do clickbait, wouldn't I? Like top 10 zombie games. Number 7 will surprise you. Do you know, one thing I'm often tempted to do is like, have an evil twin, like do an evil Ahoy, and maybe even set up a new channel, and just do evil versions of my videos. So I'd use the same footage, but I wouldn't write a script, I'd just wing it. You know, so, hey guys, it's your boy, Evil Ahoy, and this week we've got the top 10 zombie video games for you. Number 10, it's Left 4 Dead, and stuff like that. And just do it all evil, and then, of course, at the end, I would implore you to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'd have a title in all capital letters, and, you know, or evil stuff like that. And I think it'd be quite good fun, you know, it'd be like, you know, it'd be a break from my normal, slightly more reined in demeanour. It'd be nice to be evil on YouTube once in a while. I think it'd be nice to have a chance to be deeply unethical, just once in a while. But the sad thing is, I think, you know, given enough effort, given enough momentum, I think Evil Ahoy has the potential to be more popular than my main channel. Such is the way of YouTube. Not as well liked, I would hope, but still, in a world where views are currency, the Evil Ahoy would reign. Anyway, the good news is I've got a series of shorter, more familiar videos coming up. It is the return of Iconic Arms. 6 more episodes, and I won't tell you what they are. I think I'm going to reveal them on Twitter next week. I'm going to give a series of cryptic clues, and I'll reveal the thumbnails of what's coming up. But there's a decent enough selection. It's, you know, there are still some that haven't made the cut that I would desperately like to cover. Like what? Like what, Stu? Like what? The MP40. I still haven't done the MP40 yet, which kind of makes me think I should maybe do a Nazi special at some point and do 3 Nazi weapons that I haven't touched yet. There's plenty of weapons I haven't quite had a chance to cover yet, but there are some iconic ones coming up. My only real concern is that I have to reconcile that portion of my audience which isn't interested in guns with the portion of the audience that is. And I don't know how the exact split is anymore. I don't know. I mean, Iconic Arms is always popular. It always does pretty well as far as views are concerned. So I'm not too concerned. But I feel as though I might have attracted a larger percentage of people who maybe aren't interested in guns. Maybe I can sway them. I don't know. The trouble with guns is that they're intrinsically political, and I don't know. I don't want people to think I'm making a political statement. I'm just talking about a cultural artifact, really. But to someone who's vehemently anti-gun, I mean, these might appear to be the glorification of violence. But then, you know, the rest of my stuff is about video games, and there's always a lot of violence in that. Plenty of violence in the zombie video, for instance. So I don't know. I shouldn't worry what other people think about politics. Not my concern. I try and approach things with a fairly even hand. I don't really have an agenda to drive home. Although, I don't know, maybe I do. The trouble with bias is it's invisible, of course. Anyway, I am going to answer some questions, but I have left it a bit long, so some of these questions might be a bit stale. So I'll pick out some questions that are, you know, shall we say, more timeless, that haven't dated. And hopefully, by the time of the next bonus, any questions below won't be horribly out of date. I do plan on getting back on the proverbial bonus horse, as it were. Or is it wagon? I don't know. Anyway, I used to do a bonus sort of every other every project. I do one bonus, but with the variable length of projects, I find that's kind of difficult because on longer projects I kind of get lost and I forget to do bonus. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do at least one bonus a month. So this will count as your August bonus. And so September, I'll do another one. When September ticks over, I'll try and remember to do one at the earliest opportunity. You never know, I might find myself in possession of more time than I know what to do with. So I may yet do additional bonuses, but I will strive to do at least one a month. Anyway, 5 minutes left. Let's do these quickfire. Mellow Psych says, has he played Sunset Overdrive? Yes, I have. I quite liked it too. JPA Gamer says, Dear Mr. Brown, have you ever had a brace? No, no braces. My teeth are okay. My left incisor is slightly inset, which, for the purposes of vanity, maybe I'm thinking I could have done with one. But yeah, it doesn't affect me in any way, you know. Just my self-esteem. Cameron Bloom says, what do you think of Dirt Rally? I love it. It's the game I bought wheel and pedals for. I got the Logitech G920. Boodor85 says, seeing as you're a fan of the XCOM series, would you ever make a Retro Ahoy video on the original games? I just started watching these bonus videos and I can't believe I didn't earlier. XCOM is one of my favourite games of all time, and it is one that it's on my personal shortlist of Retro Ahoys that I'd like to cover. What else is there? Civilization, I think, is also there. And The Secret of Monkey Island. I'd love to do that. Eero Cunnington says, when is Iconic Arms coming back? It's up next. It'll be the next thing I upload after this zombie video. Togger King says, hype for Doom? I wasn't that hyped, but yeah, you know, it looked pretty good. I eventually got it, played it through. Yeah, it was alright. Refreshing in some ways. The Greatest Corgi says, with all the talk about retro being absorbed by your main and your thoughts on managing separate channels, what's going to happen with Drinks Ahoy? I really enjoyed the content there, along with so many others, and I believe we would at least be satisfied with a small update. Drinks Ahoy is kind of a sideline for me. It's nothing that I really want to do anything with particularly. It's just, you know, an occasional outlet for my love of well, principally beer, but I suppose also spirits as well. At the moment, I don't have anything planned. However, at some point, inspiration will strike me, and I will do another video for it. I mean, it might be a year off. It might be a while. It's just obviously, you know, with having limited time, I have been focused on my main channel more. But yeah, I do have plans to return to it. Like I say, when inspiration strikes, whenever that might be. Naswak asks, have you played Life is Strange? That game has ruined me. I've played the first episode, and I think I might have finished the second episode. I think so. First couple of episodes, mostly done, if not completely done. I was trying to play through it, but my son discovered the glowing white light on the front of the Xbox, and it's been difficult to play games all the way through since. He loves to turn it off. Screamworks says, will Baby Ahoy also grow up on a strict diet of Wolfenstein, Doom, and Half-Life? Well, he might play them eventually, but he can play whatever he likes. At the minute, he loves the controllers more than the games. He's not really interested, you know, in terms of what happens on screen. I think he's starting to get a connection. You know, like the Xbox will make a noise when he moves the stick, navigating through the UI. But he's not really. He can't play games. He hasn't got the mental faculties to do so. But he does like the controllers. He likes the way the stick moves. He likes the way the light on it lights up, and the buttons. He loves buttons. And oh, he likes my steering wheel as well. Yeah. Hansoner says, I'm just going to ask and see what happens. Have you played? Have you any thoughts on Undertale? I quite enjoyed it myself, and is getting quite a bit of a mention, so I'd like to hear your 2 cents, if any. I have played it, yeah. It's charming, in a sense. It's kind of equal parts reminiscent of 2D RPGs, equal parts novel in some ways. Not my favourite game of the year, but, you know, interesting enough. Anyway, we're at 19 minutes. It is now, it's past 3 o'clock, which means I've got less than an hour to make sure my zombie video is ready and prepped for its 4 PM launch. So I'll wind it up here, bid you adieu and all that. Oh, there is one more thing. In addition to the bonus video and the zombie video, I have orchestrated another launch today. I'm actually launching a Patreon campaign because, you know, all of the time I get asked, Stu, where's your Patreon? Where's your Patreon? What's your Patreon? And, you know, I have to say, I don't have one, sorry. And I'm thinking, am I throwing money away? So I've been thinking about this for a while. I've been, you know, pondering whether to do it or not. And I've decided to go ahead with it, just to see how it works. Because it seems like it has been successful for quite a few of my peers. So, yeah, we're going to give it a go. I've got some rewards on offer. What have I got? 3 things. Number 1, I'm going to grant access to a Discord server, which is basically just a text chat room. I use Discord quite a bit now, and I've got my own server. So, yeah, to Patreons of any tier, I will send out an invite. I'm also doing the unthinkable. I'm doing monthly vlogs. That is to say, well, kind of super bonuses, really. I've got myself a cheapo camcorder. And it's a little bit out of my comfort zone, but it's for a smaller audience. So, yeah, that's another thing I'm doing. And finally, oh, yeah, I'm offering Crush as well as an incentive. It's not finished, and it might not even work. But, you know, if people want to play an early version of it, and, you know, they want to pay for it, then who am I to say no? I'm not going to bleat on about Patreon. I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm not going to put, like, pre-rolls or post-rolls on my videos. There's going to be a link in the description. I'll mention it on Twitter. I'll mention it now in bonus. Probably won't mention it again unless asked about it. Don't worry, my mainline production's always going to be free. That's kind of one of the things I want to keep. I don't want to deprive anyone of my main produced content. The only thing really is the vlogs, which, you know, kind of disappointing for some, but, you know, I've got to offer something. And like I said, I'm going to get my proverbial rear in gear with these bonus videos. I want to make sure that I get at least one a month out. Just to keep in touch, you know, and to help self-right myself and keep myself sane. Because, well, you know, this YouTubing malarkey can be, well, it can leave you isolated sometimes. I mean, I like isolation, don't get me wrong. But it's good to have some structure. It's good to touch base with your audience on some sort of regular schedule, and I shall make an effort to do it more. I might try and find a way of recording bonuses when I'm actually looking after my son. Just, you know, he's pretty self-sufficient now and he plays with himself. He needs less attention than he did 2 months ago. So I might not be able to, you know, to be able to have the concentration necessary to write. But, yeah, speaking into a microphone, answering questions, I might be able to pull that off. We'll give it a try anyway. Anyway, I shall get this rendered and hopefully it will beat the zombie video by at least 15 minutes. I mean, I haven't scheduled it. This is... I mean, I can set it live whenever I like. So I'll orchestrate it. It'll be fine. Yes. So the zombie video is probably live by the time you see this. Go and watch it. I put a lot of work into it. Then you probably will anyway. Would you look at that? It's my birthday today, and I'm the one giving out all the presents. Hope you enjoy them. Until next time. Farewell.